So, but the canley.org, search the lawyer's name, Law Society webpage, see if they got any, hits against them.
Right. Any complaints, investigations.
Complaints maybe not the end of the world.
Right.
Where the Law Society says he did something wrong.
Well, it has to go pretty far to end up on the website.
Yeah. If it's on the website, you can read what the judge or sort of the panel says about that lawyer, and then you can assess. So those are good things you should do. Google, not bad. I'd recommend Google as much as I would in any other part of your life, like your accountant and your mechanic and your dentist. Don't use it as verbatim, but if they got 1,000 reviews and 4.5 is their average, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
If they got 10 and
5 might be a bit suspicious because most law firms don't get that many.
That's a good
I'd say maybe about 20 to 40, 20 to 50, depending on the size of the firm. I just want to point out that the largest firms, they normally have Denton's has 15 reviews. So I've seen some real estate lawyers and personal injury lawyers that have 2,000 5-star reviews, and I'm suspicious. It doesn't mean it's impossible.
No. You know what? It's a good point. I never thought of that. I agree with you, and I would stay away from those.
Right.
And I understand why you're saying, which is they're fabricated, I guess, effectively.
I think it's impossible.
Okay, so then I would do that. So then I would get that background. I know you can do that yourself. I love the idea of looking into a case or two. And so, just so you know, you want a case in this jurisdiction. So, province you're in, and you want a recent case. You don't want a super old case.
Last 3 years kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be great. And if you really, really want, I don't recommend this necessarily if you're not too familiar with law, but Court of Appeal cases are great. But I think you might be asking.
That's my challenge.
Yeah, and the other thing is, don't be scared to type in leading case defamation. You come up with some good stuff because
into Canley or Google?
Into Canley.
Okay.
Yeah, because what it'll say is a judge will often have a decision. Decisions are called reasons, but the judge will say the leading case in defamation that I'm using is this case, and now you can go to that case. You just hit on that case, and you're like, okay, this. And they're using there's a leading case because they'll outline the steps, what's important. Now, we can get into this another time, but that's not verbatim, right?
Right.
But it's a great starting.
Right.
Then I would go to them and I would say, hey, how many cases have you worked on like this? I would have them, I always ask to see the pleadings or if it's a letter, a threatening letter, or I ask them to send me an outline of the facts before we meet so that I'm not like, hey, my name's Dean, I could do law stuff. I'm like, okay, well, your case, these are the issues I think, my personal style is different from many other lawyers, but I really ask a lot of questions and I don't take answers that I don't think are great. I don't want it softened and tell me the best story. Tell me what actually happened. If I feel like it's not, you might be skipping something to look better, I'll push around you. Yeah, because I can't help you if you don't tell me the truth.
What's going to come out anyway when there's trial and the other side's pressing into them on the witness stand.
You know what? I always tell people it comes out at some point. You might think you're a great liar, but you got to say it 10 times. It's got to be the same way 10 times. It's got to be under oath. Yeah. And guess what? This is stressful stuff.
Right.
So let's just start, and I also say to clients, I don't care what the truth is. I just need to know it.
Right.
You can work with it. At least I can give you better advice. The better advice might be settle.
Because you did it and you actually have the liability.
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse.
Right.
Especially, and the truth is too, judges don't like it when you lie.
Right.
So they're not going to say, oh, this person's lying, but I'm going to give them the benefit on the other case. You're just digging yourself deeper. So be comfortable asking questions. Of your lawyer, if it doesn't make sense, ask. That doesn't make sense to me, or what do you mean by that? Don't let them bamboozle you with
fancy words that you don't understand.
If they're doing that, then imagine how they're going to advise you through the whole litigation if they can't get a point across to you now.
Yeah. How are they going to communicate to a judge if they can't understand?
But not even a judge, but to you. They're there to advise you to make decisions.
Right.
If they can't advise you in a way you can understand, so you can say, okay, I can make a decision now, then what use are they, right? Mm-hmm. If they're just trying to sound smart, that's no value.
No.
There's no value to anybody, right? So I, go after them a little bit, not rude, obviously, you want to help them. Ask them what you think it would cost. It's never
ballpark.
But what I do is I break it down. First stage is going to be this, and then I also say on every stage we're going to reassess. We're going to talk about it again, and then I'm going to give you the information you need to say, let's go this way, let's do that. And then, but I will say, hey, if you want to start a lawsuit, you're talking 30, 40, 50,000. Because we're talking a trial, examinations of discovery, pleadings, so like the best lawsuit ever is 10 to 15,000. Some of them get ridiculous. And then, we've mentioned before that you can't control what the other side does.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but you want people to be informed. So you should feel comfortable with that person. If you've never hired a lawyer before, that's the great thing about going to multiple lawyers. If two of them say the same thing and one says something out, excuse me, a little bit crazy, that's not the one to go with. So I think those are other things to kind of do just generally. And then, do you kind of trust this person? Use your gut.
Yeah, trust, yeah.
You kind of like the person. If every time you're like, I'm going to stupid lawyer, I'm
Yeah.
not in a room with that person, that's not a good fit.
Right.
But I would ask them to tell me some cases they've done similar as well. That's a good first start.